In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his messenger, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is our divine reminder, warner and servant that's in our midst. Thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of the Jock Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man, a podcast of brothers who desires nothing more than to present a positive image as to what a striving man in God should be. For we all are fathers who love our children. We all are youth mentors. We all are businessmen, and we all work hard in our communities to make it a decent and safe place to live. When putting this podcast together, we decided to govern our actions by three rules. One was to put God first in all that we do. Two was to present content to podcasts that can make you a better you. And three was to show brotherhood and unity amongst men with very different backgrounds and experiences that you can be proud of. My name is Brother Kyle Weed Muhammad. I'll be your host and moderator for the night. I'm that brother that's very interested in the root of things, the beginning of things, inspirations and motivations. And so I hope you enjoy those lines of questioning. Now, we have two other hosts of the Jock Brothers. Our brother Jackie, that's my brother, good brother, always brings a good attitude to every meeting or show that we have. Unfortunately, he will not be with us tonight, but he is definitely with us in experience, and he's rooting for us to have a good show tonight. And of course, our brother Ahmed, he will be on a little later. That's well-traveled brother, the current producer of the show, a mover and shaker, a real mover and shaker. He just makes it happen.
Yes.
And so a valuable asset to have on any team. He'll be here later. But until that time, want to make a couple of announcements. First of all, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in once again to the Jock Brothers platform and supporting your brother. I mean, we really don't have the words to say that can show you just how much we appreciate the support we've had since we started this run. And so I would just ask you to continue to support the Jock Brothers. Matter of fact, if you are viewing the show, please share it, because we got a topic tonight that that we have been waiting to have, we've been building up to since we started. For the Jock Brothers' name is Let Us Make Men. Let us make men. So tonight we actually going to talk about some of the responsibilities of a man, and that is fatherhood. So please share this. Now for those that has donated to the Jock Brothers platform, man, we thank you. I don't know if you've been around since the very beginning of the Jock Brothers, but you if you have been, you can attest that we have grew in areas that we can't believe we're growing in our own right. So we thank you for every dime that you ever donated to the Jock Brothers platform. And of course, we have an initiative going on right now, and it's going well. We have a prison initiative in which we are trying to put the Final Call newspaper behind bars to our family, our brothers behind bars. We already called the Final Call headquarters and got the pricing. For $18, we can put the Final Call behind the bars for 3 months. And $30, we can put it behind bars for 6 months. Right. And they send a brother a subscription for a year, $60. That's a small investment for the much it can do when you get that paper behind bars. Behind bars, with that paper, you could create unity and brotherhood behind bars. You can prepare these brothers to come out into this nation and can contribute right away. Soon they feet hit the ground. So please help that endeavor. And if you choose to donate to that endeavor, or continue to choose to donate to the Jock Brothers platform, please send it to our Cash App that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. It is $Jock Bros. Once again, it's $JAKQBROS. Thank you for that. It's time to get to the show. Time to get to the show. Now, this show right here is about fatherhood. Brother Jackie sent me he sent me a little information prior to the show. And after I looked at it, I was like, man, this has got to be the way we get this conversation started. So I'm just gonna read a little bit of it, and then I'm gonna go through some of the issues that I never really considered myself. You know, clearly America is going through a crisis, going through a little crisis. And here go the statistics right here. It says uh, 18.3 million children, or one out of every four families are without a biological father in the household, a stepfather, adopted father. You know, so clearly there is an issue with with the father factor. We got to step up, brothers. Um, Research shows that when a child is raised in a fatherless home, these are some of the results that you can get. One is you can have is a 4 times greater risk of poverty. How about this? A 7 times more likely to become pregnant teen, more likely to have behavior problems, more likely to face abuse and neglect, 2 times greater risk of infant mortality, more likely to abuse drugs and alcohol, more likely to go to prison, 2 times more likely to suffer from obesity, more likely to commit crime, 2 times more likely to drop out of high school, all because of the absence of a father. So this is a conversation we got to have. And because we got to have this type of conversation, we invited these 3 brothers right here to our panel because they're going to shed some light. They're going to share some spiritual, some emotion, some knowledge on some of the things they're doing to better motivate brothers to take their stands in their homes. I'm gonna start off with Brother John. Brother John was born and raised in Asbury Park, New Jersey. As a college student, he joined the Nation of Islam and served as the student minister in his hometown for 20 years. Before relocating to Wilmington, Delaware, he currently heads the youth ministry at Mars number 35 in Wilmington, Delaware. Brother John is a frequent motivational speaker at youth prisons and schools in Delaware Valley. In 2005, his passion inspired him to reach another level. He started an organization called GAIN, which that's an acronym for Going After the Next Generation. And this mission is to inspire and equip young people with the knowledge and tools to navigate through the social ills that plague our society. With no further ado, I would like to introduce you to our big brother, John Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me, Brother Karwi?
Yes, sir, brother.
Oh, man. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness. There is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. I want to greet the panelists and the mighty Jock Brothers Nation with the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. It simply means peace be unto you and peace to the gods. Brother Kwawi, I'm honored. My brother, Brother Jackie, you said he couldn't be on tonight?
Right.
And where's my other brother? He's coming later?
Just running a little late. He should be here in about another 5 minutes.
Well, I'm honored, family, to tackle this subject, to be a part of this panel and to just dialogue as men. As you was talking, brother, my stomach just started, getting queasy and turning, brother, because, as a whole, we've dropped the ball, but there's a reason why we dropped the ball, and then there's also a solution.
Right.
By the grace of Allah, we want to be able to deal with both. The issue of fatherhood, when I think of fatherhood, the word fatherhood is gender specific. And it is gender specific to the word parenthood. For in parenthood, you have fatherhood and motherhood. So it's gender specific. It is the role and the state of being a father, being a protector, being a provider, being an encourager, all those things that come with that hood. And that hood, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us, represents knowledge. So the greater the knowledge of the Father, the greater his ability to navigate those under his stewardship.
We're gonna get that. We got you, Brother John. You already in full, but you already got 10 toes down, brother. I hear you, brother. I hear you, brother.
I'm ready to roll.
Let's again, if y'all hear the passion, it's ready to spew out of them. So share. Let me introduce the other guests on the show tonight, man. We got another esteemed brother. This is what he do.
Yes, sir.
This brother is oh man, Brother Darnell is an author, speaker, and founder of Each One Teach One Mentoring. Darnell is a New Jersey native who has committed his life to life's work to support the growth and development of Black youth. He spent over 20 years sharing his wisdom and experience with young people. He is a married father of 4 children. Let me say that, a married father of 4 children.
Go ahead.
And is respected in his community. With no further ado, with the Jock Brothers greeting to you, brother. Please receive our brother Darnell Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger. I greet you, Assalamu alaikum. And brother Kwawi, it is an honor and a privilege to be on this show. I have to add, now that I have 3 granddaughters along with those 4 children. So it's an honor and a privilege to participate with my brother John, and of course my other brother. We had him first, Brother Merrick. It is an honor to see him as well, and I'm excited to learn and to share what I've been exposed to and what I've learned, and also to learn more about this fatherhood, because we all I'm in the room where there's the biggest room is a room for improvement.
That's right.
So I thank Allah that we can get this dialogue and discussion on, so that we can grow and produce more fathers in the hood.
Say that.
Alaikum.
That's right, brother. Good opening. Last but not least, my brother, Brother Lieutenant. This brother right here is a dedicated soldier, man. I have the privilege of seeing this brother in action. I'm not in his squad, man, but this brother here, man, hard charging soldier, always carry himself with the utmost respect. Always offer and give the utmost respect to everybody he encountered. I mean, he's one of the. I mean, he's an up and coming MC. I hear his lyrics. He got a real strong New York accent. Do I think you got the slangy, you got the Southern style a little bit more, brother? But that's what you do.
He's from Jersey.
This brother is a father. I see him with his son. He's at junior FOI class, sitting with his son nearly every Saturday, despite his workload. So look, man, it's an honor for me, and with a Jock Brothers round of applause. I know we don't have everybody, but I'd like to introduce our brother Merrick X.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. Praise be to Allah. Man, I'm humbled and just grateful to be here. Assalamu alaikum to the brothers, man. Man, I didn't know Brother John and Brother Darnell. I didn't know y'all was gonna be on. So I'm sitting here like, oh really? Like it's a reunion. It's a reunion going on. I don't know if they set it up like this. So I'm just tripping on that, you know. Man, alhamdulillah, man. I echo what Brother Darnell said. We humble students. That's one thing about us. We always carry a title of student, and we are honored to be student. We value being a student, so we're here to learn as much as we're here to give. You know, I saw, you know, I'm a fan of the show like the other brothers. You know, I seen Brother Ishmael on here, so it's just humility, just being here. I'm excited. I'm grateful, and you know, we're going. You know, I'm excited to see what we have to offer. You know, what Allah gonna bless us to give. Cause we talking about fatherhood, and we know this is a very, you know, you read the stats. We that alone set the tone for me and for us. So thank you for having me, and may Allah, you know, bless us. Thank you.
All right, brothers. With no further ado, let's get to work, man. You know, let's get to work. You heard the statistics. I'm gonna kick it off for you, brother John, because you was already 10 toes down. You know,
Right.
you heard the statistics, brother.
Yes, sir.
You heard the statistics, man. We got to get the fathers in the home. But what can you what's the problem? Let's talk about the problem. Why you think we not in the home? First off, to get started.
Yes, sir. Well, brother, I would bring it from a macro down to a micro. You know, these last 6,000 years, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that it has been a vacuum in our history. And this vacuum is really a state of darkness. And as we near the end of this 6,000 years, it's getting darker. And so the job of Satan, as we've been studying in the book of Revelations, the 12th chapter, trying to get the woman, Brother Kwawi, but not being able to, and then going after the remnant of her seed. And so Satan is at war with the righteous. And naturally, if he's going to go to war with the righteous, he has to go after the protector of the righteous community, and that is the father.
Right, right.
So if I want to get into the family, I got to go to war. I got to distract. I got to humiliate. I got to pester. I have to harass. I have to lock up the protectors. And so through misinformation, through the lack of knowledge of self, the enemy has done a job on us as men. The role of father is not as honored as it used to be. Laws have been set up to undermine those who truly want to be fathers. I remember my mothers and others telling me about when welfare first came in, how it really was designed to take the father out of the home. So we've had a lot of array of arrows coming at us through Satan and his minions. But by the grace of Allah, we have divine guidance. And if we heed to the divine guidance, we can slowly pull ourselves back, as our brother said first. So, you know, in our prayer, Brother Kwawi, as I close on this part, we say, I've been greatly unjust to myself, and I confess my faults. So grant me protection against all of my faults. For none can grant protection against faults but thee. So we go into the prayer asking Allah that we've been unjust to ourselves as men, as fathers, and we're begging and asking Allah to grant us protection from those faults, because if we don't do our job as fathers, then it manifests in the product of the children that we see, which will curse us to our face.
Want to add to that, Brother Darnell? You're on mute, brother.
Oh, yes, assalamu alaikum. I'll come right behind our brother. You know, when Brother John was talking, I immediately thought about the Million Man March, how our beloved minister, you know, put together a pledge. And on one of the pledges, it talks about, you know, being a father. And also he also mentioned that we should go back and adopt a child to take him in our home, because like you said, the father, we're not in the home. Many of us are not in the home. So that is one way that we can do that. There's a few other ways that I see is very important. Us as being fathers and us that are striving to do right and be right. What we should do is we have to find a young person and take them under our wings, just like the old OGs did us when we were growing up.
Right.
You know, they took us under their wing. You know, they see us coming from school. They ask you how your grades were. You know, did you do good in school? Have you been respecting your mom? Let me find out you disrespecting her. You know, that was kind of OG you kind of look up to. And then and then he would go in his pocket and pull out some change for you. Well, see, now we gotta up that. We gotta upgrade that. We gotta find a young brother and take him under our wing and school him and you know what I mean and treat him like he's our son. He's our nephew. And I think that would definitely help the society and also encourage our young brothers who are out here trying to get it, as they say, to get married, you know, to get themselves together and to find a mate, you know. So once we get the man and once we get his head and you know, and then when he has a family, when he's ready for a family, then what he produces is what comes from his head. So we have a great job to do, and all of us has a part to play. And if we all do a little, no one has to do a lot. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Look, that's a good opening statement. Look, man, you know, these are. I'm just trying to get y'all blood warmed up because I'm gonna come with a little questions at you.
Yes,
We just getting started, brother.
Yes,
Merrick,
sir.
Yes, sir.
chime in, brother.
Well, you know, as I'm listening, the only thing I want to add is what we all know to be the truth is that it takes a village to raise a child. You know, and every time we touch another black man, touch another black woman, anytime we around each other, we building to create that type of mind, that type of environment. Because for me, one of the biggest thing that I got from just listening from what the brother said that left a lasting impression on me is that we all got a role to play. Shouldn't nobody be on the sideline because this is all on us. We've all fallen short of the glory of God. We all gotta fight for our redemption. We all got a debt to pay. How we got here. You know, this talk, I'm self-made. The minister said, we don't talk like that. You self-made. What you know about being self-made? We teach that Allah made himself. See, that's a whole different talk. We can say that. In triple darkness, that's we believe in that. But everything that we got was given to us, man. You breathing this air. You only want to talk about, but I'm going back to my ancestors. I'm one of them ancestors' babies. You know what I'm saying, brothers? And I think we all the same on this phone, on this Zoom. Yes, we ancestor baby. We know we got a debt to pay, man. Ain't nothing was given to us. And so we don't squander the time and frolic around in sports and play. We understand this is a serious job we got to do as a father to usher in a new world. We can't have our children going through the same system, the same ups and downs, the same trials, the same police beating, shootings, death, murder, chaos, rape. So it's a village, man. And every time we speak and we trying to hurl truth and falsehood to knock out his brains, to let you understand, look, man, you part of this too, and you got a duty, man. And we all got to, you know, uphold our duty today. We calling everybody, all hands on deck. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Way to good start, family. Now I'm finna get busy. I know y'all haven't prepared for some of these questions. I mean, I know. So so we about fathers being absent, right?
Yes, sir.
Now you know, it's well known we were slaves, and we wasn't allowed to be fathers in slavery. We was just bred, really.
Come on.
But get out there and work, nigga, and don't get close to this baby because they are a commodity. They can be sold at any point. Now, they've been taking care of our children for hundreds of years. Do you think that's drawback from that to the fact that, man, like generationally, we don't even want to be in the household, that we still just trying to be gigolos and just have the fun of making the babies, but don't want the responsibilities of them. Are we suffering from drawback? Take that question, brother Merrick.
Well, and when I'm listening to you say that, brother, and I mean, it to me, you took me back to when I was in church, brother. And I'm a child of the church, like many of us. I wasn't born in the nation. I'm born in Jamaica. I grew up, Catholic, around the white angels and the white, Jesus and all of that stuff. But just as a brother, as a brother, grew up in the church, and as a brother, I've always acknowledged God. He's always been in my in my life. Even as a Christian brother, going to the church, I would go to the church, and I would say I was somewhat serious. But my thing is, even as a Christian, I didn't have the strength. My point that I want to get to, I didn't have the strength to fight against evil. I didn't have the strength to stand against my weaknesses, right? So as a Christian, one of the things that, I remember saying, and I think many Christians say is, no one's perfect, nobody's perfect. So there was this door open where ain't nobody perfect. So if I'm messing up, if I'm doing wrong, there's a room for excuse that it sort of was accepted, and I, as a Christian, I was in that space. Now I'm saying all of that, right? And that came to my mind because as a Muslim, as a believer in the teaching of Most High Elijah Muhammad, there's accountability. We don't condone weakness. We taught that man sharpen man like steel sharpen steel. We taught to make each other strong. That's our teaching. We hold each other accountable. Now, when you mention what happened back then, that psychological damage, that's very real. Can't nobody dismiss that. That we see it's too evident everywhere you go. You see it. It's too relevant. It's too prominent for you to dismiss that. There's something going on upstairs, man. This ain't right. So we know that this is a real thing. What you said, it's just that my state of mind where I'm at from studying, from my understanding, is like with the knowledge we have and with the time that we're in, it's time that there's too much knowledge, there's too much information, and for us to accept any of these things now. We know it's real, but today we got to hold each other accountable, man, because we got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired, and we cannot condone this because we have the remedy today. We have solutions today. We have understanding today. We have medicines that we can apply today. So even though that's real, today, man, it's like if you accept that and go along with that, it's like they say, ignorant is bliss. It's like you're making that an excuse now where you can justify your wrongdoing and using technology. And we don't want to do that today. We have strength. We have a man standing up in the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We have these great teaching. We seen what this done to Brother Malcolm. That was in a cell, that was locked up, that was living a beast life. We seen that transformation. I seen that transformation in myself. So even though I acknowledge that, and we have to acknowledge these things, but we have an understanding. That's part of the understanding. We have solutions today. So me as a young soldier in this, that's sick and tired of the murder and the chaos and the lies and the confusion, I say, let's get with the truth, man, and let's take that truth and do what we got to do to transform and level up. Because it's present today. If you want to level up, you can level up today. So let's go forward and change.
Okay. Before we go forward, because I can tell they want to get some of this question right there. But our brother Ahmed came on. Open the words, brother Ahmed.
Yes. Thank you all for joining on. Peace and blessing to everybody.
Peace and blessing.
And let's get to it, brother, because we have to raise our sons and our daughters. We have to be fathers, and this topic and this discussion has to be had at least once a month, twice a month. We have to have this discussion live. Everybody needs to hear it, see it, feel it, and understand it. Thank you all for joining on.
Yeah, that question I hit Mary. I like that it hit you like that, brother Donnell.
Yes, sir.
Are we suffering from drawbacks, brother? From slavery?
I would have to say no, sir. We're not suffering from drawback. What we're suffering is not listening to the man of God. You know, I heard Brother Merritt, he was right on it. See, the scripture said, how would they know unless they have a teacher? And how would they have a teacher unless he be sent? Well, we know we have a great teacher in our midst. However, it is our job as disciples, as believers, as followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad under the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to go out and to strengthen our community and to lift our brothers up so that they can be respectable men, respectable husbands, and respectable fathers. So it is our job. It's not like Brother Merritt said, we can't use that excuse anymore. Even though it's real. We suffered that. But see, when God comes and he raised up the exalted Christ, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, what excuse do we have now? It is up to us as the foot soldiers to go out there and make his word bond and make his word real. So I don't believe we're suffering from a drawback. I just believe that we're suffering from the lack of desire and a lack of passion, a lack of spirit, a lack of discipline to go out here in these highways and these byways, because our brothers that are falling in these streets, who gonna save them? It's up to you and I to go get them. So, and this is why we have to have forums like this, like Brother Ahmed said, once a month, twice a month. We have to have forums like this and invite our people on to listen, because back in 1995, all those men that came, the minister put something in them to make them go back and say, I got to go back and be a better father. Man, I got to go back and be a better son. Wow. I haven't been a good husband. See, and then we went back. We had the spirit, many of us, and we kept that spirit going. And however, like with anything else, we dropped the ball here and there, but it's no excuse. So we have to take these teachings, take these words, and take these spirits that we have and take them to the street and save our people. It is up to us. The minister has done his job. If the minister doesn't have to say not another thing to us, it's up to us, the men, to go out here and save our people.
Say that.
So I'm like,
get in there, Brother John.
Man, brother, amen.
Amen.
I'm just, brother, in response to your question, Brother Kwawe, in truth, any wise man will study history, because history is best qualified to reward research. And in truth, if we don't know what was, we really don't know where we are, and we're really ill-prepared for what is to come, it is not an excuse, but it is your duty to have a knowledge of self. And part of knowing and having a knowledge of self is your painful history. How did you get there? I was looking when my brother Merrick was talking, because I spoke at this conference with parents, and I couldn't find the quote, Brother Kwawe, but it's very interesting that prior to welfare in the, after Reconstruction, the Black man and woman, we tried our best to have some semblance of family. So whereas up to the 40s, 50s, and 60s, 88 to 90% of Black homes had a mother and a father. That wasn't the issue. The issue was injustice. What happened was, after the riots, when Rondale and all them came together and studied us, and welfare hit, now you have a system that doesn't promote marriage. So now you have a mindset of women saying, I don't need you now. I don't need you. And then men saying, well, if you don't, the nature is still there. The biological nature is there. The babies are still being made. And when you're in the hood and when you don't have a job, your sex drive don't decrease, it increases to help deal with the pain of being a failed Black man.
Yes, sir.
So when I was growing up in school, there was no courses on how to be a father, even though every male generally will eventually hit that. There was no elective on how to be a father.
Right. Come on.
And God forbid you're 13, 14, 15 and have a baby, you're expected to step up and be a man.
Right.
And handle your responsibilities. At 14,
right.
We didn't have the knowledge. So fatherhood, the hood is the knowledge.
Right.
And as Brother Darnell said, our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge.
Right.
I will end that part, my brother, saying that fatherhood, motherhood come together to make parenthood. That's the institution of family. And it's called an institution because it is a place of learning. We're learning how to be fathers. We're learning how to subordinate our ego. We're learning to give up self to take care of our family. That's something you have to learn, particularly in a world that's on its way out. So I'm sure we're going to come back to the nation, but this is the Jock Nation. So we're dealing with Muslim, Christian, agnostic brothers in the hood that don't care nothing about what we believe, yet you are still a father and have the potential to be that. So you need the knowledge that comes from the Honorable Minister Farrakhan.
That's right.
I mean, I hear everything you're saying, brother. I mean, I like everything you're saying. I mean, I'm with you, but the numbers ain't lying.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Brother Donnell, Brother Merritt.
Let me chime in on that. Carl.
The numbers ain't lying. Go ahead, Brother.
We get a little bit of that because I'm definitely in agreement with Brother Donnell, Brother John, and Brother Merrick, and the history, like the brother said, it repeats itself. So we came here to the shores of North America, and the knowledge of mating was taken away from us. The image of a father was taken away from us. It was destroyed. We became bucks. We even when we married, they took our wives away, or took our children away, or took us away and separated us. It wasn't until Islam was brought to us a knowledge of what a father is, his responsibilities were. We did not know, and like the brother said, even till today, we're repeating our history. Young brothers and sisters are conceiving children at 15, 16. This is repetitive. It is totally repetitive.
Yes,
in every community. In our generation, the new generation, and the image of a father is lost. But it's not until we submit to the image that we're pushing forward and that we're portraying through these teachings or through Islam, that we're trying to present, this is what a father looks like. Now, everyone now has to look at it and say, yay, and I submit to that. Other than that, we have a situation that's repeating itself all over again. The children, the young men don't want to listen to the older brothers' counsel. They know it all. They're getting young girls pregnant. The young girls know it all. Or they're trying to have abortions, or they're trying to get rid of the babies. Mm-hmm. It's just a cycle. And I heard the minister say that the knowledge or the mindset that the young women and boys have, or young men and young women have, when the birth is conceived, is going into the children. So again, we got a whole nother generation being born that, hey, their mindset is not right. It's not in accordance to a new generation coming in that's submitting and trying to be the standard of a father, mother, or a family unit.
Okay, so I got you. So check it out. Got a Christian friend that's tuning in. They got a little offended. Let me tell you why. So their comments are they respect the FOI, the Muslim, for what you're trying to do. But based on y'all comments, y'all said, it wasn't until Islam until you learn how to be a father. They say I'm a father, I'm a good father, I'm a Christian.
Yes, sir.
Why are you giving you got to be in Islam to be considered a good father? Anybody want to hit that?
Yes.
Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead, Brother Merrick.
So Yeah, I wanted to go because I did mention Christianity, you know. I spoke about being I was born in Jamaica, a Catholic brother, and how I had a mindset of ain't nobody perfect. So I always had there was always a room for excuse where whenever I did wrong, I could just go to that room and I felt comfortable. I felt comfortable and I continued in that way. Now I'm speaking from my experience and what I've seen with my own eyes, you know, what I've experienced and lived. So when I think about what that person saying about being offended, I believe one can be a true Christian who's striving and dedicated and be a great father. Because we believe a good Christian and a Muslim are one and the same, are the best of friends.
Right.
So we don't believe in the division of the two. We believe in the marrying of the two, and that is opposite sides of the same coin. So I wanted to, you know, kind of clarify that because I felt like I threw that out there, you know. But what I say about the mindset, you know, that's very real in my experience and the other Christians that I was around, brothers that were, you know, that were going to church and you know, sort of, you know, living that lifestyle, you know. So that's just something that I experienced that I think is very real. But I just wanted to clear that little part up because we absolutely you know, value the church and everything that comes with Jesus and the Bible. I mean, like I said, we want the marrying of the two, you know. So I just wanted to, that's my part. Thank you.
Okay.
I
You
just
good?
let
Go
me
ahead,
touch
brother.
that.
Run.
Let me touch that real quick. Down. I know John, but John was eager. I heard the minister say that Christianity and Islam. Now we're using words, but the meaning of it, Jesus' teaching was doing the will of the Father. Islam is obedience to the will of Allah. It's all the same. So,
Right.
so when I say Islam, I just mean obedience to the will of God. You can get that from the Bible. You can get that from the Quran. Both teach fatherhood examples, responsibilities of a man. So it's all one. It's all one. It's the truth. It's doing and obeying
You
the
coming in choppy,
will of God. Oh, you couldn't hear me?
You coming in choppy.
At the end.
Okay. No, that's it. That was my piece on that.
Okay, John. Okay, you free. You free to go, John. Go ahead, do your thing.
Yes, sir, family. I appreciate my brother's sentiment, and it was my prayer tonight as well that because this Jock Nation is all over the planet, and the Jock Nation is more than just Muslims. So we pray tonight that what is given today are principles of fatherhood that anybody can take, regardless of your religious persuasion. So my brother is right. I met some excellent Christian fathers who are
Absolutely.
doing their job. I met some brothers who don't claim any religion, who are handling their business. I met some Muslims that ain't on the stick like we should be. So the principles of fatherhood are universal. And those, if you watch and just see any family, if you were a deaf man and couldn't hear anything, if you just watched families and how they work, you wouldn't know the religion, but you would see principles that all of them practice. And so the Jock Nation is a nation of brothers and sisters around the world, some Muslims, some Christians. So we know that tonight we're going to have information for you that can help you. But going back to Pauli's point, the numbers don't lie. Like Jay-Z said, people lie, numbers don't. So I want to take one jab, Kwawe, because in the hood family, you know, we want to say, yeah, we want to get back and take my families, brother. There's some women that don't even want you back.
Wow.
How can a man that got 9 children by 7 women go back to and take over his family? They done remarried, got 3 other boyfriends. It's deeper than just going back home. Some don't want you. I'll leave it at that.
You good? You good, brother Darnell? You want to get in? Are you straight?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm definitely in agreement with all of our brothers said. This is not a we're not religious gang banging here.
Come
You
on.
know, we're not doing that here. As fatherhood and parenthood, it supersedes what we call ourselves. So I'm with it, man.
Okay, so now, clearly there's a drop. I mean, the numbers ain't lying. I know we supposed to do better. You know, you know. I don't want to say this wrong, but the numbers are not lying. All right. Matter of fact, if as the Caucasians took care of our babies, our children in slavery, they kind of sort of doing it right now. You know, you got welfare, you got assist. Women have every imaginable category of assistance you can apply for. They really don't need us. Now it's getting to the point where they are not needing us so much so that they are now getting to the point where they're not even dating us. Now, that's the problem. Is there a fix? I mean, I know we got to stand up, but as you can see, it's too easy for a man not to go to home. It's too easy for us not to go back to the house. I mean, oh, she good? Just call me when you need, me to discipline them, or I come through when I get to missing them some. But that's still not a present dad, and present in the sense of my son or y'all children.
Go ahead. Where do we start? I mean, we could talk about the sisters all day. That's just such a whole nother topic. Where do we start as fathers, though? Because we could talk about the women. I mean, they play their part, but where do we start as fathers? Where do we start? What's the start in fatherhood? What's the start? Where do we start to become better fathers, to become better examples?
Where do we start?
Right.
Go ahead, brother, down there, run it.
But I would say, like with anything else, it starts at home first. It starts with us at home. For those of us who do have children, those of us who does have a family, either their children live with us or don't, it still starts with us at home. We must tighten up our family at home. Even if they're in a distant view or they're at home, we have to tighten it up and become a better family oriented, so that when our household is somewhat strong, then we're able to go abroad and pick out and attend and help out in the community with the other young ones. But we can't go out here in the community to take a young man under our wing, and we got a young man at home or a young man across town that we haven't taken under our wing, and to either get some reconciliation if that's the case. So we have to start right where we are at home and tighten up our family and get our family strong, all on the same page. We may not agree, and we're not going to agree, but at least we have a better understanding of one another. And then once we get that, we can go out in the community to get our youth. So it starts with us at home.
Okay, so Brother John, chiming out for him, right?
Yes,
Hold on, you're on mute. You're on mute.
I'm on mute.
No, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Sir.
So just feeding off what Brother Darnell said. He said we got to get better at home. What is that? What is getting better?
Let's drill down a little. In dealing with young brothers, who I deal with a lot by the grace of Allah, and I'm thankful to be able to. When a brother is 16 years old, dating, fooling around with a young girl who's 16, 15, 14, and a child is born from that, there never was a home to begin with. Every child was not produced from two people lovingly living in a home. In our world today, children are being born because of the act of sex. period. There's no home. The daughter's living with her mother, the little brother living with his mother or grandmother. So babies are born, there is no home to go to. Or if a brother's coming out of prison, and here's a big issue that we're dealing with in the East Coast. Brothers come out of prison, he got 2 or 3 children, he wants to get involved. But there's so much pain. Maybe, and so it starts with brothers atoning first to God and self.
Come on.
Because when I deal with a bro, listen, yeah, Brother John, look, man, I got 5 of them, man. I just did a 7-year bid. They done moved on. You just don't come home and just skip to the loo and hop up in somebody's house. It ain't that easy today.
Right.
There's a lot of pain involved. There's a lot of hurt involved. We did our women dirty, as they say in the hood. So you may not never get that woman back. This is what some brothers have to come to grips with, brother. Man, I never get her back. But your job is to grow and atone and put on sackcloth and ashes, but still be in your child's life in a repentant tone. And so we have examples in the scriptures, in both Bible and Quran, of how that can be. The beautiful story of Abraham and his son. Here's a man praying for his son, having beautiful communication with his son. Even when he got the vision to kill his son, he spoke to his son about it to get his take on it. See, that's a sign what we should be doing as fathers. Then you have Joseph and his father in the Bible and Quran. They had a wonderful relationship, so much so that Joseph didn't mind telling his father about the dream that he had, that he would rule his brothers. And his father loved him enough to say, brother, please don't share that dream with your brothers. Not that your brothers were evil, but Satan lieth at the door, so he said. So you have conversation, you have examples. So I would just say, brother, how it starts, many men, there is no home for you to go to. That woman has moved on and gone. But you can be a presence in the life of that child that you made, where home is not for you anymore. You still can be present, and you do that with humility and with knowledge and with love.
Brother Merritt, what do a healthy relationship with your children look like?
A healthy relationship. Beautiful question. Of course, I want to say it's one of love. It's one of care. It's one of patience. My oldest is 6 years old. So I consider myself new to being a father. I have 3 children, and my oldest is my boy is 6. And I've had to learn a lot of patience, in dealing with him, because I found myself being quick-tempered, wanting to correct all that I saw as being weak, So I found myself more so in the drill sergeant mode, and being a little heavy, and being very impatient, So I bumped my head a few times and many times.
Right.
And so to be, as honest as I can in answering such a beautiful question, man, it's one of me being patient and really growing up myself. I really got to look at self.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because my impatience is coming from many different things that I've experienced, So I'm putting this onto him. So I've had to challenge myself to be my better self, my best self. So I can give him that and express and give him what he needs for him to develop and grow in his own way. Because a child got to be a child, and we all grow and develop differently. So I have to have that patience and that knowledge and understanding to give him the atmosphere to breathe. Because if one is stifling, you know, and when it's suppressing, then you're doing more harm than good. And I love my child like we all love our child, but you do more harm than good out of your zeal, out of your love, not knowing it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's one of patience. It's one of understanding. Um, and it's one of balance, you know, because a dad gotta be a dad. You know, I can't just be all soft and not be strong, and all strong and not be, so it's one of balance. And it's one of I gotta include my wife. I gotta talk about the other half. You know, it's one of us working as a team. To me, this is a team sport, being a parent, you know? And so I gotta, all of those things come to my mind: the patience, the love, and the team spirit involved with mom and dad working together as a team, because I'm gonna hit him like this, I need her to hit him like that. You know what I mean? So we working together to produce love in this child for himself, so he can grow into a child that's gonna have enough love to carry himself in this world, to have confidence, so he can take on all of the different tasks and obstacles that's gonna come his way.
I want you to hit that question too, Ahmed. What do a good relationship, a healthy relationship look like?
Man, and myself and Brother Merrick had a real deep discussion on that not too long ago. But a healthy relationship with my children, you know, male or female. Like, I have two sons, but a healthy relationship to me is like when I was born, when I was being raised. First thing I was taught was to love myself, love God, and love my people. My sons, I teach them to love themselves, love Allah, and love their people. And I teach them to respect me in a way of brotherhood, that we can communicate. I teach them how to express themselves. I teach them how to deal with losses. I teach them how to navigate through problems and situations, how to seek counsel. A good relationship between me and my children is basically the foundation of communication, justice, and teaching them to love their creator, love the word and the examples that they read in scriptures, or that I give them from scriptures. So basically it's communication with me and my children.
Okay. Brother John, Brother Darnell, y'all got these organizations.
Yes, sir.
They describe what a healthy relationship look like. And I know because of these organizations that you have, I guess you can recognize the problems faster because you might deal with the youth more. So when you see I guess a youth in your program, how can you recognize that there is a disconnect between him and his father? Is that something that they is there a way about them? Let's talk about something. Talk about one of your experiences, Brother Donnell. And I got you, Brother John.
Well, yes, sir. I would say just mere conversation with the youth, with the young brother, you know, having a genuine concern and having that relationship where y'all can, you know, sit around and talk. You know what I mean? We in the car riding. I throw some questions at him. I see his response. He responds. You know what I mean? And we first build a relationship with each other first to get him, you know, to communicate when he see me. Hey, Brother Darnell. Hey, brother. You know, and getting to be a friend first. See, I work on being a friend and being a true brother, and getting him comfortable with me and myself being comfortable with him. And then as that grows, then I'll come in and ask the question. You know, how are you with your father? Where's your father at? When last time you seen him? Do you know? I just probe questions to see which questions are touchy or not. But if you have a genuine concern for the young man, the youth, or the young sister, and you see and they see that you're genuine and you're consistent, they're gonna open up. If it's in your heart, they're gonna open up to you. You know what I mean? They're gonna befriend you and they're gonna entrust in you. And once you get that trust and show them that you know that you're trustworthy, then and then I won't ever put the father down. Never. You know what I mean? I'll step in as a uncle of my brother, which is his father, and still speak in honor and high regards to him as I'm being an uncle to his son. Then eventually, as I get to that young boy, he'll respect his father even more when he's dealing with me, because I'm going to put his father at such a place like that, not giving his father an excuse, but to see to have in that young man that, you know, no matter what, you got to respect and love your father for whatever reason. We're taught, you know, from our beloved brother, Minister Sharif, who was a former Supreme Captain, who always before he left, he always talked about daddy and father and how we should treat and see daddy. And that, you know, I try to implement with my young brothers.
You know, great answer, man. Look, I know we got a brother Patrick Muhammad. He's a principal. He's dealing with children all the time. I wish we can. I think he said he want to tap in, brother Hawk, man. See if you can reach him. See if he want to chime in right quick, brother John.
Yes, sir.
Give us something, man. I mean, about how you could tell a brother.
It's funny, Brother Kwawe, I look for myself in these young men. As a young brother growing up without my father, I remember almost like it was yesterday when he made a promise to me to come see me. And I stayed on the porch and waited, and I'll never forget. It wasn't the first time, but I remember the last time that I wouldn't wait for him again because his word wasn't bond.
Right.
And I grew up angry, hot-headed, cursing everybody out. And I look for young brothers like me when I'm in my program, when I'm in the schools. I see it. I see the bully. I see the class clown. And generally, as Brother Darnell says, as I talk to him, you even today, you can hear the misplaced anger and disappointment that they have in their father, whether their father is there or not. I don't know how much time we got, brother, but even in the Nation of Islam, I got to go here, brothers, because while we bringing lost found in the front door, our children running out the back door. Why? Let me leave that alone. But we got to go there, Kwawe, because it's not that many generational father, son, mother, daughter, happy family in the mosque or church. It's grandma and grandchildren. And if we really loved our babies and really cared about them, then we would be fathers even for our junior FOI. But when you go to study groups and mosques and churches and there ain't nothing for the babies to do, and God forbid somebody try to help the babies, you give them hell, that's another problem.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now we're gonna go there, but let me go, because that's burning in me, man. We
Yes, sir.
Fatherhood, but we losing them in the nation. You out with the final call, you ain't doing nothing with your damn son. Or you running back and forth to class, you a top soldier, but you losing your babies. I'm losing my babies. But we got all this knowledge of self. Man, miss me with that. We need to start sharing as men in the nation and as spiritual men, because Satan is beating at our door.
Come on.
We talk about some assalamu alaikum. Yeah, right, brother. Your son, one of the ways to know that your sons love you and love me, that he walk in the path that we walk. But our babies don't want to have nothing to do with the nation once they get a certain age.
Yes, sir.
So we talk that talk. But all they do in the mosque every day, sit down, shut up, sit down, shut up, sit. They spend years being told that in the back of the mosque because you won't do nothing for them. So now they got engrams.
Come on.
Now they 16, and the hell with that FOI and MGT. I'm sorry, but we're losing our babies, man. We better stop faking the funk.
Come on.
And let me chime in on that, Brother John, because I'm a product of that. You know, my father, he worked hard in the mosque, and his father before him wasn't a great example of a father. And he worked hard, but my father said he was just a disciplinary.
Yeah.
He just came home and chastised him and beat him whatever he did wrong, and he didn't have the knowledge or example of being a good father from what I hear from what my father said. So my father kind of emulated that. Even though he worked hard in the nation,
Right.
he was out soldiering, he did, but his actions was repetitive of his father. So it's almost like the Willie Lynch syndrome. It was just a generational repetition. So now, even though we get knowledge of ourselves, I know plenty of brothers today who are fearful of even talking to their children about sex because their parents didn't talk to them about sex.
Right.
So it's more of we have knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Once understanding, now it's the application. So I've grown up in the nation, and I've sat with brothers today in the nation. So we talking 80s, 70s, and 2000.
Right.
This brother that you're talking about has been as a transcending brother. It's just getting the black man. It's not just the brothers in the mosque or the church. It's all over. Getting them to realize and understand how to apply the knowledge that they have. Again, we have to see it. And okay, it's almost like we have to watch a movie because when we're out here working and soldiering, we're doing God's work, even though we hear it or we read it, but to actually see it is a whole nother, like, wow. Look at the way Brother John just talked to that boy. Now I'm looking at the actual application. Some of us never get to see that, Brother John, never.
Yes, sir. And you know, my brother, if I can add, that's excellent. This is why we've been around 90 years. Churches longer. Those mosques and churches that do a better job of holding the youth are those mosques, churches, and study groups, cloisters, synagogues that have ministries.
Come on now.
That are backed by the leadership.
Come on.
Who see the importance of it working. You know, when I go visit a church and they got the mimes and the youth choir packed 50 deep, them babies ain't going nowhere because they got something to do. I got a believer right now. Now, I don't have, but I know believers who let their children go to church because the church has a ministry for their babies. And ain't nothing for us. So I'm saying, good brother, with all of the knowledge that we got, you mean to tell me, can every mosque, can every city got one or two people that care about the young people? Since I'm still working on myself as an FOI,
yes,
since I'm still learning, since I'm still soldiering, is there a ministry somewhere? Matter of fact, if 75% of the households are run by women and they come to your city and here's a sister with a 13-year-old boy, 11-year-old boy, 8-year-old boy, do you have something for her? And if you don't, why should she come? That's how we got to think.
Come on.
But if it's all about me, if it's all about you, if it's all about you looking good, like I said, we bringing them in the front door and our babies running out the back door, and we too arrogant to see it, mosque, church, synagogue. And somebody got to almost be like a voice crying in the wilderness, man. Our minister Farrakhan can't do everything. He done gave us all to us. So I applaud you, brothers, that got that junior FY class in Atlanta, man.
Say that.
And we need to reproduce. We need to share as men. What works once, hey, man, is that working? I would like to do that here. We don't do that. Even as fathers, I need help as a father. And I take them off of this conference because, see, we need to talk as fathers sometimes.
Right.
We need to cry on each other's shoulder.
Right.
And we applaud you.
I messed up with my daughter. I messed up with my son. I need help with the choir. I need somebody, one of y'all brothers, to get on me. We need that as men because we got to be strong in the house.
Men sharpen men like steel sharpen steel. And we applaud you, John, for all the work you do with the youth. I don't believe everybody has that skill, and to look for everybody to have that skill and love and understanding and patience to deal with the youth is far and near. So some of us have to step up, and it's not going to be everybody. Just like the minister said, everybody's not going to accept the teachings. Everybody's not going to be Christian. Everybody's not going to be Muslim. Everybody's not going to be Jewish. But the ones that accept the duty and accept the responsibility, oh man, we have to be the forebearers, and we have to teach those and be the example for those. We can't expect everybody to change. We can't expect everybody to be the way we want them to be, but the ones of us that have that understanding, that have that patience, that have that knowledge, oh, we're going to shine, brother John. We're going to shine. And it's our duty now to teach the uncivilized. That's just the bottom line.
Come on now.
That's our job.
Yes, sir.
That's our job.
So you see the question.
Right.
What are some of the strategies that fathers can use to foster open dialogue with their sons and daughters? That's a sister that I always look at the show, Sister Catherine. She's a part of that Jock Nation. This is a question, man. Let's.
I would say, I would jump right in there. I would say one strategy that we as fathers can do is just to confess where we've been wrong. That's the first thing.
Say that again.
To confess where we have been wrong, where we have dropped the ball. To be honest and say, I dropped the ball as a father, to atone with your child. I believe that's a strategy that can open the for communication. You may not get everything out at one time, but if we come and say, look, I wasn't there for you. I dropped the ball on here. I'm not going to make any excuses, but what I pledge from this day forward is to be a better me so that I can be a better father to you. And then that there should start to unlock the door. You know what I mean? You go away or whatever, and you can come back. Now that door is unlocked, and then you come right behind, and whatever you say you're going to do it. Be transparent and accept the rebuke if and when it comes.
I'd like to jump in there because I was also talking to another brother about that. And the minister has a lecture called The Cycles of Life. And I read a book when my son was 2 years old, and they said it was terrible twos. But I read a book when he was 2 years old on the expectations of a 2-year-old, what they should be doing, their education level, the things that I could expect from a 2-year-old to see what level of development they were on. And from that point, I started to study the different ages. And I looked at myself and my peers growing up. And if we study the level that the child is on, where they should be, what they're going through, have an open dialogue with them. And Dianetics also teach that when you talk to them, you raise their tone scale. You bring them up to a place where you can have open dialogue with them. Once you find out where they are, then you can better communicate with them. But you have to first study self and then study them so you can communicate. You speak Spanish, they speak English. We're not even going to be able to communicate. I have to see where they are. I mean, I have to communicate. I have to humble myself and talk to them find out where they are, what's going on with them, and be open and be able to take a cursing to give a blessing. I have to be open to take what they're going to say. Yeah, Dad, I did this. I can't look. My son got a tattoo. Oh, man. I'm against tattoos. My son is smoking. I'm against him smoking. I can't sit there and battle him with what he's presenting to me because I'm trying to get somewhere deeper. I'm trying to get here and here. But I can't let the worldly vices that he's been getting involved in stop me from communicating and impacting and communicating with him or her in order for me to give them that knowledge and wisdom that we're trying to get to them. But that's my piece.
Man, can I get in here?
We got brother Jackie on.
Yeah.
No, Jackie, no.
Go ahead,
No,
get
man.
it, brother Jackie.
I apologize for not being on the video. I apologize, but I was a single father for of 2 boys and a girl. Brother Darnell can attest to it. And raising 3 children, especially my daughter, was really serious. That brother Darnell helped me a lot, though.
Oh, praise.
When they were with me, I wasn't in the mosque. I had went away from the mosque for 9 years, and when I was on my way back to the mosque, my son, my oldest son, who is now 30, saw me living a certain way. He saw me living a certain way, and when I decided to come back to the mosque, when Allah allowed me back in, I made drastic changes real fast. Brother Darnell pulled me to the side and he asked me, he said, brother, did you walk your son through those changes as you went through them? And man, it hit me so hard. I was like, no, sir. He said, yeah, that was a lot because you gotta, he said to me, because, for him I think at the time he maybe was like 13 or 16 or something. And he said that was a lot for him to see his father make such a change in such a quick amount of time. And then you don't give him the process of why you're doing what you're doing and what exactly you're doing. So when you all was talking about, and when you was answering the sister's question, it definitely is communication. But in that communication, man, I think it's important that we as fathers learn how to be quiet while they're talking.
Come on, man.
And it's very important, like Ahmed said, that when they present themselves as they are, as they're going through their changes, allow that, walk them through it, but do not reprimand them at that time. When they're opening up to you, please don't reprimand them at that time. You want a relationship where your child will bring you, man, Dad, I did something wrong, Dad, and I gotta tell somebody. Yeah, tell me.
That's right.
Yeah, tell me. Go ahead and let me know. Oh, really? Right. I did that before when I was young too, son.
Come on,
let me tell you how we handle that.
Right.
Let me tell you how I handle. We have to have a talking relationship with our children. If we do not have a talking relationship, we can take another L like we took. We have to have a talking relationship with our children, man. And I'm just a firm believer of that. Now, I grew up not having a talking relationship with my parents. I have that now. But I had a friend, man, I want to say something, man, that something happened, something happened to him that we would say is embarrassing. And I said, man, what did you do? He said, man, I went home and told my mama. And I was like, wow, you told your mom that? It's like, yeah, I tell my mom everything.
Come on, man.
And that was so big to me. I think it's very important that we as fathers, because your children want to tell you, so they want to talk to you.
Yeah.
They want to. They love you. They respect you. But we have to give them room to express themselves, like Brother Ahmed said. We have to if you got to hold yourself down, just be quiet, and let them give it to you, walk it off,
Right.
and then take a deep breath, whatever you got to do. Because if you allow that one time for them to tell you something, they'll come back and tell you it some more. They'll come back, they'll keep coming. And I think that's very important. I apologize for not showing.
No, that's beautiful.
No,
That's
sir.
beautiful.
Man, that's
Beautiful.
dope, man. I like that, brother.
I mean, Brother Kwame, if I can confess, brothers, I failed in that area, Brother Jackie, because I was so busy trying, as Brother Merrick said earlier, we don't want our children to fail or go through what we go through. So I was always giving them the teachings and beating my children over their head with the teachings.
Right.
Treat them like a lost found instead of my children.
Right. Come
Right,
on.
right.
Come on.
So, really, they'll build up in their mind. I don't want to hear that.
Right.
I want you to be a dad right now.
Come on.
So, more to that sister's question, also creating a structure and structured times to be with your children, because they'll know. I mean, life's busy. We're busy. We work. There's a lot going on. But that dinner table.
Come on. Talk about the dinner table.
Or that Sunday morning walk.
Come on,
man. It's that busy. Come on, son. We do our Sunday morning walk, or we're going to make a run to Dunkin' Donuts. They have to know that, particularly if you got more than one child.
Right.
I know my daddy time is Tuesday around 5 to 7. I know
Yes,
daddy
sir.
time is Saturday morning around 8 to 10.
Go
You
ahead.
got to put a structure in where they know they have your undivided, non-judgmental attention.
That's
Right.
important.
Thank you for that wisdom, brother.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
excuse me, Brother Kawhi. I'm sorry. I got one more thing, brother. Please. I apologize, man. But I got one more. I think it's very important what the sister asked earlier. She said, how can a mother support their husband or partners to be present fathers, even with the relationship fail? Now, one thing that I learned as a single father, and I learned this painfully, there is no communication like between a mother and a child. So I have two they call baby mothers, but two children's mothers and a wife. I have a wife, and then I have children from two different women. And I cut off the relationship with one. I mean the talking relationship with one. I cut off a talking like communication with the mother of the child. That was a big mistake of me. It was a big mistake. If you want, and this is something I learned the hard way, if you really want to get something over to a child, if you have a talking relationship with the mother, you can get whatever you need over to the child through the mother. It's important that you and the mother still have a talking relationship. And it's real important that the children see you two talk to each other even after the relationship fails. That's important.
Powerful.
That is important. It wasn't until I was 25 years old that I actually seen my mother and my father in the same room. Like 25, I was like, dang, it was so weird to me. I'm grown. I done been through all this stuff. And when I seen that, I felt like a 10-year-old. Like my mother and father is still in the same room. So I always picture that. Well, how do my children see me and their mother?
Teach.
So I began to humble myself. And even when she talked bad about me, I still would say, yes. I still would be nice to her in front of my children. Me and her still have a conversation. And from that, we grew up. We both grew up. Now, and we was like, you know what? We're not going to do that no more. We grew up. And my children now have a talking relationship with both of us. I think because of that. So it is very important that when the relationship failed, that you and the mother still have a talking relationship. You have to humble yourself because it's not just for you, it's for those children. I had to say that. Sorry about that.
Praise be to Allah.
Praise be to
Wow,
Allah.
man. Wow.
I got one more question. And Brother Merrick, you don't have to wait till somebody asks you something, man. You can just jump in
Yes, sir. No,
anytime.
I'm listening.
But
Yes, sir.
but I was looking at, when I was thinking about this discussion of fatherhood, I was looking at manhood, today's statue of manhood versus fatherhood. So when you look at some of the youth and some of the men today, they would say, well, you're not a real man unless you have a drink. You're not a real man unless you smoke. You're not a real man unless you do all these different things and have these different vices in today's world that makes you a man.
Right.
And especially killing today, because the youth think that just killing somebody just makes you, I'm grown, I'm a man. Or I have sex, I'm grown, I'm a man. So what is the difference in those things versus fatherhood? You understand the question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Go ahead on that.
Brother Mary, you on mute, right? Oh, it's Brother Mary? Okay, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, well, I'll say this as I'm, listening to what you just said, Brother Ahmed. It takes me back to something I said earlier about this whole, because to me, I'm just trying to be very honest on this show, man. It's because this is such a serious thing we're dealing with, man. This is about the future of our nation when we talk about fatherhood. And I said earlier, as a Christian, this whole attitude of no one's perfect, and in the nation, we don't do what the brothers say, no religious gang banging. That's so, we not with no type of division and the gang in a religious gang banging. No, we believe Islam is your nature, man. We believe everybody's a Muslim, just to make it clear. So it's not even to step on anybody's toes, but it's about what Brother John said, principles. That's what we're talking about. Principles, duty, responsibility, accountability, those things. We taught the best religion is to do unto others as you will like done unto you. So that right there make us all equal. That's the standard, right? Now, just to hit that real quick, just to answer that real quick, brother, what you just said. Now, for me as a brother, I joined the nation at 20 years old in college, where there's nothing but fine women, right? And all type of, partying and everything you can imagine going on. Some stuff, right? Now, so I'm just being straight up, man. This is real. So for me, when I say that, I'm passionate about it because I understand that psychology, how damaging that is to walk around and to have an escape and an excuse for your weakness. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he's the example for me and for us. When this man is not perfect, however, his example, his demonstration, his love, his determination, his walk of faith and duty to God has been perfect. So I as a brother, I said to my wife once, I said, baby, I won't cheat on you, not because of you, but I won't cheat on you because of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I got no excuse to fall victim to my weakness. As a Jamaican man, that's a thing of a Jamaican man. We love a whole lot of women. That's a thing. So I ain't no Superman, but I'm a man that I refuse to fall victim to the weakness of myself. So it's very personal where I'm speaking from. And it's personal to me, and I know it's personal to you, because you ain't no different than me. We don't look down on nobody. Ain't no big eye, no little U's in the nation. I may know a little bit more, but that don't make me, I'm not no superior to no one. So we all have these weaknesses, but it's a certain principle, man, that it's like a gun to the head where I can't give in to these things. What's going to make a man stand up when he has been crawling on all four like a dog for his whole life? What's going to do that to a man? That's what I want. I want us to conquer evil, because it's our wickedness and our tendencies, our weaknesses that our enemy manipulates, man. He gonna put a gun in your hand and you gonna blow my brains out? When your enemy been kicking your backside and raping our women for years and we don't do nothing? See, it's too convenient. We giving into weaknesses. So that's my whole thing, man. You know, for me, coming into the nation, we have an example of a man that has set the standard, and we want that for all our people. We just want people to accept their own and be themselves, because we got to make a change. And if something gives you that power to overcome your weakness of yourself, whatever that is, hold on to it, man, and go hard. Thank you.
Brothers, beautiful.
Go hard.
Brother. I don't know. Look, man, I don't. What you want to do out, man? It's time to close it out. What you want to do?
I know, but John Darnell wanna.
Oh yeah, well let them get in there. But they can.
Brothers.
Y'all want to touch on that? We get ready to close out.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what. Let me. I know we laid in the commercial. Let me just do a quick commercial, and then we're gonna close it out. Look, everybody that's tuning in, thank you for tuning in and supporting us. Once again, if you see what we're doing, you see what we're trying to go with this. If you support what we're doing, please donate to the Jock Brothers program. It gets better. We appreciate the financing. All it does is helps us produce better, more important shows, just like the ones we got right here. All right, and again, if you have any desire to help us in our initiative to put the Final Call newspaper behind bars, please donate to us. And our Cash App information is scrolling at the bottom of the screen, $JAKQBROS. Once again, $JAKQBROS. Last but not least, this is Savior's Day season.
Come on.
If Minister Louis Farrakhan has did anything for you,
say
that is making you a better person.
Yes, sir.
I mean, we have what's called a Savior's Day gift. It's like a pastor's appreciation. We call it Savior's Day gift. Please go to noi.org and donate and show, as a way of showing your appreciation to the sacrifices this man has made for the last 64 plus years to better Black people all over the planet Earth.
All over.
So once again, Savior's Day season. So thank you again. Now we're at the point of the show with final words. Man, I would go to you. Well, you're a host. I'm about to go to you first, brother. Brother Merritt.
Yes, sir.
Final words, brother.
I just want to say, man, praise be to Allah, man. Brother John, Brother Darnell, I love y'all, man. And
you too.
I didn't know y'all was gonna be on here. I'm telling y'all straight. I hope y'all know that. I'm not just saying that. So I would just see you, brothers. I'm like, what? This is a reunion. I was born in Mars 85, the stars. You know what I'm saying? And these are the brothers that I was around that I look up to and have a relationship, build a relationship with. So man, Allah, ain't no nothing spooky about it, ain't no coincidence, man. I'm just happy to see y'all. Pray y'all are doing well and your family is blessed. It's just so much going on, man, and I just thank Allah that, we blessed to enter in another year and still have the right mind to go after our people, and for me, the last thing I want to say is there's a calling to see our people go free, and when I think about fatherhood, there's something in me. There's a fight in me, a fire in me, because I want to see the people go free, Brother John. And, they call Brother John Flame, Johnny Torch. So he has that fire. We got that fire. And it's like, when I think about fatherhood, man, if I could help nurture that in my children, man, I think that will make me feel at peace. You know what I'm saying? Because that grabs me and holds me like my feet is nailed down. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much distraction and there's so much pull from this wicked world. So something got to nail you down to the mission, nail you down to your duty, the connection with God. So that right there is a father for me. Our last thing I'll say about that, man. I pray Allah bless me, bless us to instill that in our youth, to instill that in our children, man. Because that right there, that's that glue that's gonna hold you, man. Because we got a debt, man, to our ancestors, to God, to go forward, man, and give our people just to give our people freedom, man. So it's in our hands to do so. So I thank the Jacques brothers for this opportunity, and I pray, man, all the audience is blessed. Thank you. The last thing, my that Instagram, you know, I'm on Instagram, SOOJAH Life, Soldier
Hold
Life.
up.
You can get bean pies. You want to connect with me? You know, that's my own business because we got to be businessmen. You know,
That's right.
I can't go punching in and you know what I mean. I got time to be with my family because I create my own time. I create my own clock, my own schedule by Allah's grace. You know, and this is what we teach in the nation. You know, do for self or suffer the consequences. You know, so the delicious bean pies. If you want, you could connect with me, and I'm an artist. I do music. You know, this is a gift God has given me. So you can come on. You can follow me on the Instagram. Everything else would be you can connect to me and get everything else from there. That's SOOJAHLIFE. Thank you. I hope that wasn't a shameless plug, but I feel like I don't feel like it was smooth, but man, I'm just grateful, man. Thank y'all. I love y'all, man. What's that?
SOOLAH. What?
No, SOOJAH Life, LIFE. Thank you, man. Thank you, brothers, man. Allah continue to bless us.
Thank you, sir.
Brother Merrick, ain't no such thing as a shameless plug, brother.
I hope not.
When you're trying to take care of your family.
Yes, sir. Amen.
Man, that's a beautiful plug. Support our brother, man.
Thank you.
Brother Darnell, final words.
Yes, sir. I want to thank the Jock brothers for allowing me to come on this show. I've learned. I appreciate you brothers are doing this. Like one of your callers said, we need a part 2. And for all of us who may have a nephew that we know that uncle is not in their life or your brother is not in their life, or you may just have a neighbor down the street that has a little young boy, we can start right there.
Come on,
and
man.
just take him under our wings and check up on him and build a relationship with him and watch him open up to you. So I thank you once again. I look forward to being part of a beautiful program once again. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Brother Darnell.
Thank you, Brother Ahmed.
Brother John, final words.
Yes, sir, brother. Again, as my brother said, thank you all. Thank the Jock brothers and the Jock Nation for allowing me to be a part of this. I definitely learned. I got some jewels that I'm going to apply immediately. I really appreciate the dialogue, family. Again, my son dragged me on Instagram, brother. So I'm on Instagram, Gang Movement, y'all.
Come on.
GANG Movement. Holla at your boy.
Right down to the modern time, brother. Right down to the modern time.
Yes, sir. I want to just say, family, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who has given me life, has given us 2 pictures to help us with understanding fatherhood. It is the Lord's Prayer. We need that Lord's Prayer to help us to understand our role as fathers. And the Al-Fatiha, the first chapter in the Holy Quran, gives us tools, vision, and inspiration to help us be fathers. The book of Revelations, the 12th chapter, talks of a dragon who is coming after the remnant of the seed of a woman, and we are that seed. He's after us, brother. His aim is to destroy our family and destroy us as fathers. We have to fight with the tools that God has given us. We cannot be the best fathers we can be without God. So let's lean on him. Let's strive to be the best. And that word hood, it's a covering. So when you see your brother messing up, you cover him and you help him in his fathership and his fatherhood and his manhood until he can get it together. Then we pull the cover off so that he can come before the world. We may fall in this world, but a saint is nothing but a sinner who fell down and got up. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to the gods. And thank you again, Jock Nation.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you, soldiers. Brother Ahmed, final words.
Man, I thank you all. Thank all you brothers for coming on, man. This conversation It has to be had. We have to represent a knowledge of acknowledging fatherhood. We have to have that talk. We have to present that clean glass next to that dirty glass. We have dysfunctional families. And there's nobody going to say their family is perfect. None. Because there's no perfect people on this planet. So we have to put that clean glass up. This is what a father should be. We have to give birth to a new nation, a new mindset. And we have to have these discussions because it drops seeds in other brothers and sisters' minds that they can then look to try to produce the mindset in their children, born or unborn, to just have that mindset of wanting to produce a young woman or young man that's going to change this society, man. That's giving birth to a God. Just having that mindset and that will to want to bring forth that into existence. And what Brother Darnell said, man, if we're not giving birth, then we're looking to the child that we see in our neighborhood, our children's friends, our family members, young brothers and sisters, where we can drop a seed in their mind to help them develop a good character. This extends beyond religion. All my Christian brothers, Muslim, Jewish, Buddhist, non-denominational, we have to all come together and change our reality. And we can do that in no limited time. So I thank you, brothers, for coming on. I would like to hear Brother John go out with those prayers that he mentioned. Man, I like when we close out in prayer.
Come on now.
Because
Okay.
I think that'll really give a good send off, man.
Come on now.
Okay. Let me get
Come on.
the final words. Yeah, man, it's very, very few male support groups out there, man. You know, we need this type of talk. I'm a single father, and it's no woman up here. He need that motherly love. All he got is fatherly love, and that could be tough sometimes. So for me to hear these different strategies as to how I could build relationships with my son is beautiful, and I know I'm gonna apply. So I'm gonna start applying more of them. I've already started applying them, and I can see the results. As men, though, we got this. This is not punk stuff for men to talk about this, to have these type of dialogues, to give our testimonies and bear our insecurities. This is not punk stuff. This is actually what a man does. How are you to be a better person if you don't share your story? Maybe somebody can hear your story and can shed some light on how you could be a better person. So this is what this show is about. You know, let us make man. This show is about fatherhood, how we can be better brothers to each other.
Go ahead.
This is not punk stuff. This is real men talk. And so I really hope that those that is in the viewing audience, man, understand that this is a conversation that I ain't seen this conversation nowhere, no platform. And I've seen at least 3 comments in our comments that said we need a part 2. I think we need to do that. I think we have to have a part 3,500 until we can get it, until we can get these men back into these homes to grow up our nation.
Come on.
So I thank you, brothers, for taking on this task on this short notice like this. I thank you, Brother Merrick, for inspiring Ahmed to want to do this in that last moment like this, brother. And I look forward to our future dialogues. I want y'all to know, sisters, though, we ain't forgot about you.
That's right.
Next week, our show is going to be entitled Sisterhood.
Come on now.
Come on.
We're gonna keep this love going. We're gonna keep building ourselves first before we go out and try to be brothers to each other and fathers and sisters and mothers. So next week, sisterhood. So tune in for that.
Sisterhood.
So praise be to Allah. So as brother,
wait.
question of our brothers. Go ahead, brother Ahmed.
You said sisterhood, you meant motherhood, right? This is fatherhood. The next one was motherhood. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Come on now. Yes, sir.
Motherhood. I'm sorry, sisters. It's gonna be motherhood. Yes, ma'am. We need you. No,
We're gonna need you. We're gonna need you. Come on, brother John. Teach his mother. No.
Not me, brother. Not me.
No, sir.
Stay in your class. Stay in your class.
Let's get Brother John.
So, brother John, close it out with the prayer, brother.
Come on
Yes,
now.
sir, family. As we say the Lord's Prayer and the Al-Fatiha, please just keep in mind our role as men as we hear these words and the guidance from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan from these prayers. Let us pray. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Amen.
And the Al-Fatiha, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of the day of judgment in which we now live. Thee alone do we serve, and thine aid do we seek. Guide us along the straight path, the path of those of whom thou hast bestowed favors, and not the path of those of whom thy wrath has been brought down, nor of those who go astray. Amen.
I mean,
And I missed part of that Lord's prayer was to, the Lord's prayer was to lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And the minister said, when you're a man and you're a father and you allow poverty in your home, you lead your family into temptation. So I teach my young daughters, I used to teach them, you don't take money from no man but me.
That's right.
Because that's how they start grooming you. They start giving you money when you 10, 12. No, you don't give my daughter nothing.
Yes, sir.
I thought we were about to start part 2.
Okay.
Walk up again, brother.
Praise be to
Thank y'all
Allah.
for tuning into another episode of Jock Brothers.
Praise be to Allah.